Maldives has just come out of a turmoil, or so it seems. It's not, as the water has, a lot of water has to flow down the Ganges now. In early days of politics in Maldives, the first battle has been won, but the war is still on. I have with me Imran, a very senior leader of MDP, and someone who moves very closely with Mohammad Nishad, and someone who moves very closely with MDP, who's been in the thick of things. So we'll get a little more insight from Imran as to what exactly is happening in MDP. Now, Imran, tell me honestly, how do you foresee the government formation in days to come? How rocky is going to be your coalition?
Let me correct you first. I'm an activist for MDP. I refrain from going into leadership positions. So I've always worked in campaign management, and I work in the background. So I've never seen on things unless there are demonstrations or public protests. As far as the coalition is concerned, I think we managed to get a national unity government to deal with very serious issues in our political system that prevailed after the coup in 2012. I think we are just able to solve that issue now in collaboration with almost everybody who participated against us in this.
How many parties are there in your coalition?
Currently we have Jamhuri Party, the Adalat Party, MDP, and also Mamoon as an independent, calling himself the Reform Movement, but he would eventually, I think, lead also the PPM, the current incumbent president's party. We think the relations will be fragile until the new parliamentary election modus can be agreed, and until the formation of the new government is sorted. So that is what everybody is looking at now, how we could come to arrangements within that without personal interests.
But do you think that this coalition will last the full term?
We could last it the full term if we are planning on specifically focusing on national issues that we all agreed on. Now, we seem to think there is a serious issue on Chinese debt. There is a serious issue on judiciary and law and order. There is also an issue on in the parliament currently where there is an impasse, so it's not working at all. So these three things are actually big governing issues that needs to be addressed with all parties together. If we can overcome the impasse in the parliament, reform the judiciary, and come to terms with the Chinese debt, I think the major arrangement that needs to be sorted from the coalition is done. And then there are, I think, different interests and different areas. There is people who want socialism, there is people who want conservatism, there are people who want very liberal politics, there are people who want very conservative politics.
So those needs to be addressed.
So those needs to be addressed, but I think this is a future thing. I think the first issue is to deal with issues that we could deal together in the coalition, and I would say these are the main national issues, and then there are campaign promises from Ibrahim Mahmoud Solih along with these parties. The main delivery points were that they are going to decentralize the government of the Maldives, that they are going to have a even better safety net, and that there would be scrutiny on corruption, and people wouldn't be given a free hand to do what.
আরো খবরের আপডেট পেতে সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেলটি আর বেল আইকনে ক্লিক করুন নোটিফিকেশনস পেতে।